was a young public defender in Los Angeles, I attended a training to learn how to talk to juries. And I learned about a core principle of storytelling, the rule of three. The rule of three is the idea that presenting information in threes, that is, groups of three, lists of three, three things, jurors, in fact all people, will process this information as more memorable, emotionally resonant, and persuasive. So in all trials I did after learning this, I started every closing argument with the phrase, "This case is about three things." So to everyone here today, this commencement speech is about three things: power, courage, and hope. Power. You have all worked exceptionally hard to get here today, and this class has achieved so many great things in the 3 short years, maybe seemed long, that you have been here. It's been an honor to get to know you, teach you, work in collaboration with you, and witness all you have accomplished. All of you deserve the praise and congratulations you will receive on this day and many days to come. Being a lawyer is to hold an exceptional power. Strangers will admire you. Third cousins once removed will ask you for advice. And you will be tasked to use your power to change the life of the client sitting before you. It is incredibly powerful to be a good lawyer. You speak a different language. You know the rules. You can access the courts. And you possess this tool that, if used skillfully, creatively, thoughtfully, and with heart, you are able to push the law to do the right and just thing. This brings me to courage. The notion that a lawyer should be a zealous advocate for their client is one that every law student learns in their first year. But I would like to talk to you about being a courageous lawyer. You will soon be entering our legal profession and will be in settings where the status quo keeps its firm grip on what happens day in and day out in a courtroom, a boardroom, or a conference room. The assembly line of a court, the turn the next page and initial here of a contract, the question, "We're all good?" and the expected silence of assent. It takes courage to be able to speak up, to use your power, to say in a moment on behalf of a client, "Hey, this isn't right," or "Something's wrong here," or "This seems unfair." It takes courage to say something when everything and everyone around you wants you to stay quiet and keep the status quo. One day when I was a very new public defender, I was in a courtroom I wasn't familiar with. And when the bailiff brought in my young adult client, he had on handcuffs, very tightly bound around his wrists. I remember being surprised because my client wasn't accused of a particularly serious crime, and I knew he didn't have any escapes or red flags in his history. But I pushed off my doubt, thinking, well, this must be how it's done. When I approached my client to speak with him about his case and what was happening in court that day, he asked me, "Could you get them to take these off?" gesturing at his handcuffs. "They hurt." I paused. I wasn't sure what the law said. I didn't know what the rules were. I wasn't sure what the judge wanted, or the bailiff, or the prosecutor. But I looked at my client, and I looked at his hands, and I turned to the bailiff and said, "Excuse me, is it possible to remove these handcuffs?" "Yeah, sure." I have come back to this moment many, many times in my career, because there will be many times when you have to tell yourself, remind yourself, it is time to speak up. It is time to use your power. I have to summon my courage, ignore my self-doubt, and say something. This is, to me, what it means to be a courageous lawyer. It is to speak up for your client in those moments, big or small, when your client is being harmed or wronged. It is lurching past the internal hesitancy we all have and stepping forward on behalf of your client. I am reminded of the words of John Lewis, the civil rights leader and congressman, who wrote these words in an essay shortly before his passing in 2020. Ordinary people with extraordinary vision can redeem the soul of America by getting in what I call good trouble, necessary trouble. This is what it means to be a courageous lawyer, getting into good, necessary trouble. Being a courageous lawyer has also taken on additional meaning in our current times. We are in a time when the rule of law and the role of a lawyer are being questioned and critiqued. And it is taking pure courage to fight for both our clients and the identity of our profession. But as we undertake these challenges, it is important to remember that the rule of law has also been used throughout our history as a means to justify and carry out the mistreatment of others. So as we fight for the rule of law and as we stand up for our chosen profession, we must remember that we are fighting for what we want the rule of law to be, and for the type of lawyers we aspire to be. Which brings me to my last part, hope. As you heard and know, I direct the Criminal Justice Clinic, and part of our work is representing individuals in prison who are serving extremely lengthy and unjust sentences. So in thinking through the words I wanted to share with you today, I asked a few clients about their idea of hope. Hope is a positive mindset that good can come from even the bad. That's hope, Katie. It's inspiration to keep going no matter what. This client added, as he knew I was speaking to many soon-to-be lawyers, lawyers have the power to offer hope because you help us see the light. So as I finish here today, I wanted to share with you the wise words of restorative justice practitioner Danielle Sered, who said, "If we believe in the full humanity and belonging of every person of our nation, and if we know we have caused harm to many of our own, then the only thing left to do is to make things as right as possible." This is my challenge to you, class of 2025. Make things as right as possible. I, for one, and I know my colleagues on this stage would agree, know that each and every one of you has the hope, courage, and power to do so. Congratulations, class of 2025.